At first glance, this looks like a loose piece of seaweed drifting through the current. But look a little closer. There are eyes, a long snout, and two tiny fins working so quickly that they are almost invisible. This is not a plant. It is a leafy seadragon, a fish that looks like evolution tried to hide it and accidentally created a mythical creature. Leafy seadragons are close relatives of seahorses and pipefish, but they are found only in the temperate coastal waters of southern and western Australia, where they live among rocky reefs, kelp forests, and seagrass beds. And practically every part of their appearance is built around one goal. Do not look like a fish. Those elaborate leaves are not actually helping the seadragon swim. They are thin appendages growing from its head, body, and tail, breaking up its outline and making it resemble drifting seaweed. Even the way it moves strengthens the illusion. Most fish swim by bending their bodies and pushing through the water with their tails. But a leafy seadragon's body is covered in rigid, bony plates, so it relies on a tiny dorsal fin along its back and small pectoral fins near its neck. Those nearly transparent fins flutter rapidly, while the tail helps steer. Unlike a seahorse, the leafy seadragon cannot curl its tail around a plant and hold on. Instead, it gently rocks with the current, matching the movement of the vegetation around it. It does not simply hide inside the seaweed. It performs as seaweed. That is probably a good strategy because this fish is not winning any races. Fortunately, it does not need to chase its food. The seadragon's long tubular snout works like a tiny underwater pipette. When a missed shrimp or another small animal gets close, the fish creates suction and pulls the entire meal directly into its mouth. No chewing required. In fact, leafy seadragons have no teeth and no stomach. Food passes through them quickly, so they spend much of their time searching for the next tiny snack, which means this magnificent ocean dragon spends most of its day quietly drifting around and vacuuming up shrimp. But its strangest adaptation may appear when it is time to reproduce. The female produces as many as roughly 300 eggs, but she does not carry them. Instead, she transfers them to a specialized brood patch beneath the male's tail. Male seahorses carry eggs inside an enclosed pouch. Leafy seadragons do things a little differently. Their eggs remain visibly attached to the outside of the tail. So for several weeks, Dad swims through the kelp carrying hundreds of eggs everywhere he goes. When the babies are ready, they emerge completely independent at only 2 centimeters long. No lessons, no packed lunch, just straight into the ocean. But camouflage only works when there's something to blend into. The kelp and seagrass habitats these animals depend on can be damaged by pollution, fertilizer runoff, and other changes along the coast. Leafy seadragons are now legally protected within their Australian range. The leafy seadragon does not survive by being especially fast, large, or aggressive. It survives by becoming part of the scenery. Some animals hide behind seaweed. This one has become it. And somewhere along Australia's southern coast, a tiny dragon is drifting through the kelp. Almost impossible to notice unless you already know it is there.